Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Tyagara, and I welcome you guys back to another episode of Oot 3D 3-Heart Run. Now, in the last episode, we finally awakened all 6 stages by defeating Twin Rova within the Spirit Temple, freeing Naboru from her clutches after 7 long years. Afterwards, we were instructed by Rauru to head back to the Temple of Time in order to meet with quote-unquote the one who was waiting for us. This time, we're not going to be doing that. See, there's still a bit of side content left for us to do in this game, and I want to take care of it really quick, so I will meet you guys back at the Gerudo Fortress in just a moment. Alright, back outside the Gerudo's Fortress. We're going to be heading inside, actually, because there's something we didn't do last time we were here, and that's intentional because we didn't have the silver gauntlets, which prevent us from completing what we're about to do. So we want to talk to this Gerudo right here. This is the Gerudo Training Ground. Gerudo token verified. 1 try for 10 rupees. Alright, I'll take your 10 rupees. Give it your best shot. Yep, that's right. We got a little mini dungeon in here of sorts, except it costs money to do. So guys, this is the Gerudo Training Ground, and it is where you obtain a certain item that is completely optional, for some reason. Anyway, real quick, we're just gonna play the Song of Storms to top up on health here. You'll see why, in case you don't know what the item is. You'll understand why I'm confused as to why it's an optional item, or what purpose it even serves in this game. But first thing you want to do is turn around, actually, pull out your bow and arrow, and then shoot that eye, of course. Zelda rule of thumb, you already know it by now, guys, don't even have to say it. So, 2 treasure chests are going to spawn in behind us, one of which will contain 5 rupees, which is nice. We're almost back at the amount we were before coming in here. And also a couple arrows, which is also very nice. Now, before I progress, I'm going to quickly switch on over to the Master Sword, because within this room on the left here, it is going to be my absolute favorite enemy. I'm also going to pull out the Deku Nuts. I bet you can tell what it is based on my item loadout now, and I'm also going to put on the Hover Boots because it's full of sand in here and I don't want to sink. Defeat all the enemies in a limited time. And of course, it's 2 Stalfos. So yeah, no bigger on sword when fighting these guys. Back up a little. Alright, jump slash. As you can see, the mirror shield is actually slightly bigger than the Hylian shield, so him getting those cheap overhead slashes on me, like back in the Forest Temple, is not going to happen. Also, holy shoot, I am so slippery in these boots, guys. And this guy just decided to jump up on a rock for some reason. That was really funny. But yeah, I love this. Like, the mirror shield makes fighting these guys significantly easier than otherwise. But with that, we took him down in about 32 seconds, so we're gonna head on over here and grab this first treasure chest of this room, that is. First and only, I should say. Small key. Alright, so the objective of the Gerudo Fortress, or Training Ground rather, is to collect at least 7 small keys, and I do not have my hookshot equipped. Whoops. Because there's a maze at the very end. Oh, not yet. Whoops, my bad. Yeah, we want to collect all the silver rupees in here. This dungeon is essentially full of silver rupee puzzles. This one's not too bad, though. Oh, unless you miss like me. Gosh, I'm just always slightly off with my hook shots, huh? But it's okay. 1:30 is more than enough time. As long as you're not being a dumb bum like me. You don't want to go in there because of the, obviously, walls of fire. So what you want to do is come up here. And we'll worry about that guy in a second. And latch onto this one as well because the other wall of fire. Oh, well, not that one. Oh, I'm just on fire today, huh? But, I digress. Gosh, you know, there's a little thing called the Let's Play curse. I've alluded to it a few times, but, like, I promise you guys, I don't normally get hit by these firewalls this much in my regular playthroughs of Oots, so it's just really funny that's happening during the LP. And I'm actually running a little low on time now, so hopefully I can get it back. Oh, there's the boulder. Alright, so I want to head up here real quick. Oh, I did not realize that there were floor masters in this room. Oh, we got them all. Perfect. Alright. Coming in clutch. Taya clinches it, as one might say. And again, if you get the reference, I love you. In a friendly way, of course. Alright. So, yeah, you just want to keep hopping over these walls of fire. I don't think the Goron Tunic actually gives you any sort of advantage there. Also, in here, we've got our favorite items, our favorite enemy, excuse me, the Wolfos, of course. So let's just take them on. Trying to get spin attacks, but it's unnecessary for these guys. They go down very easily, but there's also... God, I can't remember what their names are, but you know, the ones from the Ice Cavern. And I didn't realize they would die in one hit the big Goron sword, but the more you know. Anyway, as you can see, there's a very obviously fake door there, just like in the Fire Temple, so let's just ignore that for now. Open up this chest, and we will find another bundle of arrows, which is very nice. So here we have one of those blocks, as alluded to before, you know, the silver gauntlets. If I tried to come in here during our first visit to the Gerudo Fortress, I would have been SOL. But thankfully, we are able to clear this entire thing. Now granted, there are more than 7 keys in this dungeon. You don't need to nab them all. And as you can see, you can hook through the wall here. You're meant to use the Lens of Truth, but I've done this thing so many times that I'm not gonna bother. But yes, you don't actually have to clear all the objectives. You just need to make sure you have 7, and then if you go back to the central room from before, remember the one where we played the Song of Storms? You'll be a-okay. So here, guys, I want to introduce you to something I like to call the like-proof loadout. So even if it somehow swallows me here, I will not die. I mean, I will not lose any equipment because there's only one Mirror Shield and only one Kokiri Tunic. If you're using any other, like the Hylian Shield or the Goron or Zora Tunic, you will lose it here. And also, just so you know, a bunch of treasure chests are gonna spawn in. Now, these two you can see perfectly clear, but what about this one? Is there anything here? Of course there is. You don't even need the Lens of Truth once you've done it so many times. That's the only one containing a small key. This one actually up here is a trap, so you want to stay clear of that. It'll freeze you if you're not careful. This one's gonna have 5 more rupees for us. And then this one over here will have 200 wasted rupees. Oh, just look at that counter climb. I am just, oh. I can't wait to see what the grand total's gonna be. I probably won't know until I'm finished editing the very last episode of the series, just out of sheer curiosity, so it should be pretty funny. Anyway, I actually made a mistake in the previous episode. Remember how I said that'd be the last time we'd be seeing our good buddy Pierre? I was wrong. He actually makes a brief cameo here in the Gerudo Fortress training grounds. Always a pleasure to see my dear friend. Or should I say, my peer friend.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Ha! Ha ha! Ha! Oh god, I just love puns. Anyway, we've got an entire room dedicated to the Zelda rule of thumb here. Look at all these statues. We want to shoot them all in the eye, and these guys actually make meaty, fleshy sounds when you shoot them. Don't you just love that? Uno, dos, tres, and cuatro coming right up, and their eyes turn blood red. Just like me after the last 2 days where, like I said, Monday and Tuesday were spent entirely playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I clocked in at least 10 hours on both days alone. So, yeah, when I went to bed last night, my eyes were very bloodshot. But guys, I can't help it. The game's just so good. I know it's all I really talk about, but if you play it, you would do the same, because holy, Nintendo and Monolith Soft, they've peaked, my friends. I cannot wait for a potential Xenoblade 4, even though my buddy doesn't think it's gonna happen. The game I'm most excited for right now, actually, is Pikmin 4, funny enough. What about you guys? Nintendo's actually got quite a few games coming out in 2023. I'd love to know which one you're most excited for. Let me know in the comments. There's, let's see, Pikmin, Fire Emblem, Tears of the Kingdom, and... oh, those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. I also know, like, one thing they announced in the most recent Direct that I was really excited about was... Port of Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, which is something I've been wanting to play for years. See, I recently beat the original Final Fantasy VII earlier this year, and as soon as I did, I watched Advent Children that same night. And I can see why people weren't crazy about Advent, but Final Fantasy VII was fantastic, and I plan on playing the PC or the PS4 port sometime. You guys like any Final Fantasy games, or Final Fantasy VII in particular? Also, if you have played Crisis Core and seen Advent Children, what do you think of them? I know that, like, Crisis Core is generally more liked than Advent Children, and I know Advent Children's a little mixed on its reception, because, like, the characterization of Cloud I know people aren't crazy about, but one thing everyone loves is the fight between him and Sephiroth and the version of One-Winged Angel. Just absolutely phenomenal, and it sucks, you know, my buddies, they're tournament organizers for Smash, and one thing they've told me is Northern Cave, so it's a tournament legal stage, right? Unfortunately, you just cannot play either version of One-Winged Angel on Northern Cave, on stream, because Square Enix, they're really stingy about their music copyright, and you risk, you know, getting your entire stream demonetized, I'm pretty sure, if you run either of those songs. So, keep that in mind if you're a Smash streamer or, you know, Final Fantasy streamer. God, Final Fantasy streamers and Square Enix, I can only imagine. Because I know Nintendo, like, you know, they've been pretty stingy with their copyright, but, you know, lately they've kind of smartened up with their partner program. Or, that was a general YouTube thing, actually, back in the day. Either way, I'm just rambling, but there's not much else to do here in the Gerudo Training Ground because it's essentially just a test of everything we've done in the game so far. And a lot of silver rupee puzzles, as you can no doubt see. So I'm just kind of killing time here because this entire dungeon is optional. You don't have to do it to beat the game. It's just necessary if you want that 100% completion. And like I said, there's one item you can obtain here. We already got, just to give you a hint if you don't know what it is, we've got an item very similar to it already. I'm dead. Whoops. Oh gosh. Okay, so I love this game to bits, right? I'm not gonna front. But there's one thing I've come to learn upon revisiting it. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if this is circumvented by the 3DS control scheme or not, because, you know, I'm playing on a controller. But god, the platforming in this game is just so stingy, and like, if you don't grab onto ledges, if you don't jump at a proper angle, you can't grab onto certain ledges, and it's just really difficult. So that's why I recommend going through this room using the hover boots, which I was not doing before because I was too busy rambling about Square Enix music copyright. But I digress. Anyway, one thing I'm curious about actually, on the subject of streaming, are any of you guys into streaming or content creation? I would love to know, like genuinely in the comments, because like I think we could maybe do some collabs or something and have certain series where we could feature other content creators and streamers. I think that would be a ton of fun. I've already talked to some of my buddies about it, like the aforementioned TOs, and my one friend, Gonard, who actually streams over on Twitch. You should give him a follow. He's a good guy, streams quite a variety of content. Very, very friendly person. Big fan of him. Check him out. Link will be in the description. Speaking of Link, though, we're going to be latching onto that torch there, going through this door. Now, of course, we're going to be playing the Song of Time, and collect the underwater gems, so we're going to be needing our trusty Zora tunic, which we have not seen in quite a few episodes, and also the Yield Iron Boots, which we also haven't seen since the Water Temple. So we're just going to quickly play Yield YLR YLR, Earl, as they say, and let those stones of time disappear. All but one of them, because I think I'm standing a little too close in proximity. So let's just drop on through here, and this is going to be very reminiscent of the Water Temple. You head on down here, you'll see those spiky clams and more silver rupees, which weren't a thing in the Water Temple. Also a load of hookshot hooks there for you. First thing you want to do, you don't even have to really touch the ground in this section. You just got to make sure you grab all the silver rupees. And you know, you can drop down as necessary using the iron boots. You can see here, and there's 2 more to go. One here, and then I believe 1 left in the center of the room. Oh, one of the spiky boys got us. Now, of course, in case you've forgotten, you deal with those guys by shooting them with your hookshot, because that's your only method of attacking underwater. Now, that right there is really interesting. I have a theory about this. I don't know for sure, because I never actually looked into it. So, you'll notice the treasure chest spawned in what looked to be a room full of water, but it's actually just this room up here. And as you can see, it is not filled with water. Astute observation, I know. I've always wondered about that. I wonder if it's just because, you know, we were in a room that was filled with water, that the filter is just applied to the game as a whole whenever we do that. I don't know for sure, but that's just what I'm guessing, because what other reason would the game have for loading that regular room as an underwater one? Just something I've always wondered about. More so, it came back to mind today when I started recording this here. Oh dear, so slippery. This is like Luigi on air. Luigi on ice on air. That's how I have to describe controlling the hover boots if you've never played Oot. They're just very, very slippery. With that, we've gotten 7 small keys now. And so what we're gonna do, actually, is head this way. So let me see here. I'm gonna try and land on this one here. And then roll on over. And we're gonna make our way out to the right. That other entrance we didn't go in, we got a new type of enemy here. And I might die, so let me just quickly equip the Hylian shield. But yes, these are, let me see, I actually don't know their names. You will know our names. I will know these guys' names. These are Dinolphos. They're like Lizalfos, but dinosaurs. Where? Oh, I just equipped the Hylian shield. Whoops, I meant to equip the Master Sword. My bad. Oh dear. And we've also got a Beamos and fiery walls all over the room. Oh! Shot in the foot. I got careless. Well, this will be easier because now we'll just come in through the right. And also, one thing that's cool about the Gerudo Training Ground is when you die, you don't lose any of your keys, as you can see here. So I'm not even going to bother cutting back to that room because it's actually just here on the right. And yeah, I think actually I will wail on these guys with the big Goron sword. And I'm also going to equip my bombs because I want to take care of that Beamos real quick. So let's do that, shall we? Alrighty. Defeat all the enemies in a limited time. Start with you. Very nice. Alright, that'll make things easier. These guys actually just go down pretty quickly with the big Goron sword, which is quite awesome. As you can see, you can fend them off. And that's that. I should have equipped the bombs before heading into that room, but I don't usually go this way. I just wanted to show it off because, you know, we were one room away from the entrance. In case you were wondering, was at the top of the staircase there. It was just another entrance to this room we're about to head into on the right. So without further ado, come on over here. Got a Lion's Gate, and not like the company that produced, you know, the gay Pinocchio. What you want to do here is head left through this door here. I don't need to give you the play-by-plays. Gosh, you know, I'm gonna get real with you guys for a second because all I'm gonna be doing here is opening doors. One thing I've been told repeatedly, but when I've been telling friends and others about wanting to start a YouTube channel, everyone always told me, hey, it's a good chance your first few videos or your first series is gonna be a little rough. And yeah, that's totally valid. Like, in case you can't tell, like, I have some social anxiety that I've been trying to overcome. Like, it's not too bad, believe it or not. Like, I work as a customer service representative, sort of. That's a fancy way of putting it. I won't say what I actually do, but I deal with customer service. And I can be pretty outgoing, but I know that's because, you know, my mind says, hey, the paycheck's dependent on this. We gotta do this to survive, buddy. So you better, you know, kick it into gear here. Be confident. But behind the camera, it's just me and a microphone. And, you know, by the way, here are the items. Ice arrows. They're completely optional. And yes, they're only granted to those who can complete the Gerudo training ground. So they function pretty much identically to the fire arrows, except of course they freeze. And as you can see, we've got an extra key here because at the entrance there was a door to the right, the entrance of this room, that is. But I'm actually going to keep going with my spiel because our next objective will be to head back to Zora's Fountain. So I'll just keep chatting with you guys on my way there. But anyway, as I was saying, recording videos like this, it's just me in my room in front of a microphone, my laptop on my right, my monitor ahead of me. And truth be told, I don't know how well this series is going to do. I don't know if anyone will stick around to even watch this episode. I could be having like 1 viewer, 3 viewers, 5 viewers, or if I'm lucky, upwards of like 100. And I'm hoping you guys like my personality because I admit, you know, Ocarina of Time, as I said at the very beginning of the series, is a game that has been let's played to death on YouTube. But I was just trying to, you know, start with something I knew really well because I played this game a lot and I've wanted to try a 3-heart run, excuse me. So I figured it'd be a good way to get the best of both worlds. And, you know, if this actually works out and I keep making videos and I get better over time, it'll be fun to revisit this. And then one day I might even do, like, an Oot remake LP where I'm, like, more confident in my craft, so to speak. But as I'm saying here is, I know this isn't exactly the most professional LP. Like, I listened back to the recording of the previous episode, and oh my goodness, my Kotake and Kume voices clipping out like that was quite funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm debating. I haven't edited it yet. I'm debating whether or not I should even leave that in or edit it because honestly, the peaking mic is just really funny. I hope I don't hit my head here. But anyway, yeah. I'm sure with time, like they always say, you know, you're gonna suck at first, but you're gonna get better the more you do it. Just keep at it. Be consistent with the content creation. Keep working on your craft, talking into a microphone as if you're talking to like an entire auditorium full of people. And eventually you'll get better. And we'll see how the years go by, because this is something I would like to do as a hobby, because I just, you know, been watching Chugga Conroy since I was like 11. And he's gotten better over time, but heck, I even went back and watched like a Funny Moments compilation of his Wind Waker LP, and those older videos still hold up. Like, man, he was funny. He's still funny now, but like, he was still really funny back when he was making his earlier videos. And, you know, I'm hoping to go down the same route, or a similar path at least, you know, doing my own thing, because he's the obvious inspiration, but I don't want to be the next Chugga Conroy. I just want to be Tayagara, you know? So the point where I'm going with this is, yes, I admit that, you know, I can be a little rough, but I'm trying to do better, and I'm hoping that much like all other content creators, the more I do this, the better I'll get at it, the more comfortable I'll be behind a microphone, and then I'll just keep making, you know, fun quality content for you guys as the years go by. That's the hope. But anyway, enough about my life. We're gonna play Axie Axie real quick, up on Epona, and then ride on over to Zora's Domain. And I will see you guys at the foot of Zora's River in just a second. Alright, I know I said the foot of Zora's River, but what I should have really said was Zora's Fountain. And also, real quick, I just want to make sure it's actually going to be nighttime, so I'm going to play the sun song for you. Now, in case you're wondering what we're doing back here, I want to show off another feature of our new toys, the silver gauntlets. So, you remember that cavern over there where we went and got my favorite, absolute favorite spell, you know, the Aurora's Wind? Well, there's that silver stone or gray stone that we can do anything about. Now that we've got the silver gauntlets, mind you, we can actually lift it up. As you can see, there's a bombable rock underneath it, so let's take care of that real quick. Jeez. Unfortunate. You know what? We might have to try something else. Alright, so I won't lie to you guys. I believe the very first time I ever got, or came to this area, was during my most recent playthrough of Oot prior to this. And so, I forgot you're meant to actually... Oh, wow. Are these invisible Skulltulas? They are. Well, screw you guys. Ho ho ho! 2-for-1 grandma. That was quite awesome, if I do say so myself. But anyway, yeah, sorry, you're meant to hit that with a hammer, not bomb it, so my bad. Next, of course, you know, you come through this tunnel, and then you climb up this ladder of sorts. And then at the top, we're gonna be in an alcove overlooking Zora's Fountain. It's gonna take care of this guy with an arrow. And here, we have Gold Skulltula number 100. After all this time, guys. The collection, you know, I've gone on and on about cool rock collections and cool coin collections, but I never said anything about our cool 100 gold token collection. And there we have it. I will meet you guys back in Kakariko Village, where we will claim our reward for collecting all 100. See you guys in just a second. Hope I don't die from the fall damage! Awesome. Alright, so I took a bit of a shortcut to get back here, namely the Nocturne of Shadow, of course. So we're gonna head on back to the Skulltula house, and we're not gonna claim the reward for 50 Skulltula tokens, because that will be a piece of heart. And I've already grabbed 2, I feel like I've broken your guys' trust. Instead, we're just gonna head for this big dude in the middle here. He's jacked and bald. Looks good, man. Since you've destroyed 100 spiders of the curse on me has been broken. Thank you. Here's a token of my appreciation. Please take it. You got a huge rupee. This rupee is worth a whopping 200 rupees. Well, you've seen it here first, folks. 100 tokens, all leading up to 200 more rupees for the wasted rupee counter. Without further ado, that is all the side content this game has to offer, aside from the fishing hole, which, as I said before, I will not be showing off, since it does not serve this LP. You know, the main reason why you want to go there is to, 1, get a piece of heart, and then 2, get the gold scale, in order to get another piece of heart at the Lakeside Laboratory. So that's all the mandatory side content for my particular 100% minus pieces of hearts playthrough. So with that being said, guys, in the next episode of Oot 3D 3-Heart Run, we will be heading back to the Temple of Time to meet the one who is quote-unquote waiting for us. Until then, I've been Tyagara. I really, truly thank you all for watching. It really means the world to me. And I bid you guys farewell.